Hey guys! On this episode of Researching Nature, we're going to be looking at the freshwater ecosystem.
We're here at Murphy-Taylor Lake and we'll be studying the ecosystem and all its natural, environmental aspects of the lake.
The freshwater biome is a body of water that contains less than 1% of salt concentration. Only about 3% of the Earth is covered with fresh water. The precipitation in the freshwater biome is 10 to 80 inches per year, and the temperature during the summertime is 65 to 75 Fahrenheit, and in the winter 35 to 45 Fahrenheit. In this freshwater biome, there are many types of soil. One type of soil is clay. Clay, they bind together, and when they bind together, they hold a great amount of water. Silt is another type of soil. They also bind together like clay, but they stay soft when it dries out too. The water drains through the silt, but it still contains some moisture. It is the most desirable type of soil because it helps the plants grow, and it contains many nutrients and moisture. Another type is sand. Sand is loosely packed, and it allows water and air to circulate through it, but does not retain a lot of water like the other type of soil. It also does not retain a lot of moisture and nutrients, but it is mostly commonly found in mostly all freshwater biomes. Now, an estuary is where freshwater and saltwater meet. Typically, when at a river's end and it meets the sea. It is the most productive ecosystem out there. Animals rely on them for food, places to breed, and it helps with their migration.
Economic impact of a freshwater ecosystem is very great. First of all, it can supply the drinking water for a great amount of people. This is very important, especially in places such as the Middle East where drinking water is so scarce. A freshwater ecosystem is very important and significant for the population. The second impact of it is fishing. It can provide food for a lot of people. For example, people that live around in villages around a river or like a lake, they can fish to feed their families, which is extremely important.
Another impact of the freshwater biome is the environmental effects. Freshwater is often impacted by humans through pollution. Humans dump waste into the freshwater, dirtying the water, creating pollution, which in effect harms the animals. Also, freshwater biome habitats are also often destroyed by dams and construction. Additionally, freshwater biomes and freshwater is used as drinking water for cities. This ends up drying up the lakes and estuaries and streams, causing habitats to be destroyed and animals dying. As you can see, there's pollution in the water. Many lakes and freshwater biomes are destroyed because of this pollution, which harms the animals and plants around. Oh look, there's another piece of plastic. We have to do our part in the world to make sure our freshwater biomes stay clean and healthy.
A social factor is that it brings recreational use for people. People either go out to the lake to drive their boat, fishing, and many other various activities.
Let me drive the boat.
Mutualism. In the freshwater biome, mutualism is common between fungi and algae. This relationship ends up forming communities called lichens. Fungus belongs to the genus Hygrophorosae. Algae belongs to the genus Acetabulularia. Alright, commensalism. An example of commensalism is pondweed giving cover and protection to the fish. The fish benefit because they are provided with cover, but the pondweed neither are benefit nor harmed. The scientific name for pondweed is Potamogeton. An example of parasitism commonly found in the freshwater biome is leeches attaching themselves to fish. Leech's scientific name is Horodenia. In this, the fish are harmed, but the leeches benefit. Predation. A common example of predation in the freshwater biome is a crocodile eating a trout. The crocodile is a predator and the trout is the prey. The scientific name for the crocodile is Crocodilene. The scientific name for the trout is Oncorhynchus micus.
I'm going to talk to you about the endangered species. In the freshwater biome in Georgia, some endangered species include the flatwood salamander, the red cockaded woodpecker, and the indigo snake. The main overall reasons for the endangerment of these animals is habitat loss. Factor of endangerment is agriculture and silviculture. Many of you may not know what silviculture is. This is the controlled growth of forest to meet the needs of a landowner.
The three main abiotic factors that are important in a freshwater ecosystem are temperature, precipitation, and water characteristics. Over time, the temperature in a lake fluctuates in order for the oxygen circulation to be moderated. Precipitation is also important in a lake. It is important because water characteristics are also important in a freshwater ecosystem. The water could either be static, which is not moving, or dynamic, which is moving. Seasonal changes can also contribute to fluctuation of the movement in lake water. For example, in autumn, the bottom layer of the water rises to the top and the top layer rises to the bottom. This is important because it regulates the temperature in lakes, and temperature is important for the oxygen circulation.
Eastern cottonwood has adapted to live near the edges of streams or rivers to help withstand prairie fires. They have adapted to grow thick bark. They also have an adaptation of rapid growth and can live longer after their initial growth spurt. The American beech has adapted to adjust itself to the type of environment it is in. In populated spaces, they will grow taller with thick leaves, but in open areas, they will grow shorter with wide leaves. The American beech has adapted to grow thick leaves, which will help it soak up enough sunlight. The Microptera salmodes, also known as the largemouth bass, have adapted to live in warm, eutrophic lakes and rivers, especially those covered in logs or rock. They have a thick, wide body which helps it be agile, strong, and an excellent swimmer. Their sand-like paper lips helps it crunch exoskeletons of smaller fish, and their jaw is pushed back, allowing it to catch bigger fish. Their body color helps it camouflage to its surroundings to escape predators or catch unexpected fish. The Lepomis microlophus, also known as the red-eared sunfish, have adapted to living in heavily competed waters where they have to compete for smaller fish and escape other predators. Because of this, they have adapted to feed in deeper waters. They have also adapted to hunt during dawn and dusk. In order to escape other predators, they retreat to shaded areas or deeper waters.
In the food web, the first level are autotrophs, and those are plants and algae that use photosynthesis to make their own food and energy from the sun. Then those are eaten by the second trophic level, herbivores. They are also known as primary consumers, and they retain their energy from eating the plants and algae. The next level are carnivores. They are also known as secondary consumers, and they retain their energy by eating other animals. Finally, the last level are omnivores, or better known as tertiary consumers. They eat both animals and plants for energy.
So freshwater biomes around the world are the Everglades, which is the largest freshwater biome in the world. The Nile River, the longest river in the world, is also a freshwater biome. The Great Lakes in the U.S., and Lake Nicaragua in Nicaragua. Most freshwaters are trapped in glaciers, and they're also trapped underground.